So guys, in this video I'm going to tell you about the data types in C#. So I am making this separate video about the data type in C# because it's very necessary to understand about data types, because if you have the knowledge and the grip on the data types, you can simply perform better with the games and making new games. So first of all, let me tell you about, there are basically three categories in which data types are mainly divided: the value data type, reference data type, and the pointer data type. The value data type contain your signed and unsigned integral, floating point, decimal point, character type, and boolean type. So basically, in these all save the variable value in the memory, and they accept both signed and unsigned literals. In the signed and unsigned integral types, there are certain these s byte, short, int. So the s byte, short, int, and long, they only accept the signed integer. They can go with -, and to 127. They are all signed integers. They start from negative and go to the positive ones. But for the byte, u short, u int, and u long, or the unsigned int, they start from the 0 and go to their respective value. So let me give you an example about that. I will be opening this. So first of all, let me give you an example about that. What I'm telling you is that first of all, I will be using let me clear this, and first of all, let me choose this s byte and the byte, or you can go with int and uint. So for the integer, you can simply write that integer number is equal to -10, okay, and int number 1 is equal to -10. Now what's going to happen is that it will simply not accept this -10 over here, because it cannot be converted into uint. Uint only accept the number which are starting from the 0 and to their respective value. So you can simply write the 0 here. You can simply say that there will be no error above here. So that is the main difference between the unsigned integrals and the signed integrals. The second thing is the float. People often misunderstood between the float and the double. They think that both contain the same type of value, as the double and the float are they are both the same. But the thing is that double has 2x more precision than float. It means that double can store more values, 2 times more values than a float can add. Basically, float is a 32-bit 754 single precision floating point number, and in comparative to the double is a 64-bit 754 double precision floating point number. So let me give you an example about that. If we need to store a large number, and it consumes more memory than the float, then what you do? You simply write in the double, and I don't think so there's a number that can supersede the double, but chances are there are. But you can simply go on and write a number, and it can store maximum to maximum number in there. Basically, that's the difference between a float and double. Double is 2 times more than the float. Then there comes the character. Character only stores a single alphabet in it. If you want like this, you can simply write that character h is equal to, let me say, and HARIS. It cannot store that amount because it will give us error, and it will say too many characters in character letter. So it can only store a single character in a character. If you want to store more than one character or alphabet, more than one alphabet, then you need to store it in a string, and the string is basically the biggest thing that can store, because string in C++ or C are the combinations of array, and when you combine some arrays, you can create a string. So you can create a string and name it car, and you can simply write anything you want, ranging from 0 to so on. It will not give us any type of error because it's a string. And one more thing, string is anything that you want to store in a string is between these double commas, inverted commas, double commas, and in the character you can simply write in a single comma, inverted comma. In the character we don't use double comma. So these are the basic difference between character, string, integer, uint, unsigned integer, and signed integer, and integral, sorry, signed integral, unsigned integral, and float and double. So these are the basic data types that I need you to learn the float, because if you have these all sorted out, then you good. If you have any questions about it, you can simply message me, and I will be also putting that PowerPoint and some examples in the Word file in the resource value. And let's move on to the next thing, that is the logical operators in the Unity C#.